Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, welcome to our online learning session, and we are in the third part of lesson 21, chapter 21. Okay, the building blocks of life cell and tissues. And inshallah, last class we stopped till this one, differences between plant and animal cell. And this class, inshallah, we will see about cell division, production of new cells. So, what is cell division? We told that in the beginning that this lesson covers cell division, and we know that we wear clothes and it wears out. Okay, it becomes old with time, and even when we have utensils, that vessels, it become weak and it has some crack and it has some damages. Okay, like that, our cells in the body also, they also wear out and they have to be replaced. So new cells have to be formed in our body. Okay, and what is the procedure? How can new cells form? So there is a method called as cell division. Cells divide and form new cells. Okay, and there are many benefits. For example, if we have to repair a damaged cell, okay, or malfunctioning cell, we need to have new cells, and new cells are produced from cell division. And also, when we have any cuts, when we have any injuries, okay, or for growth, for reproduction, we need cells because our body is made up of cells. So new cells have to be formed, and these are formed by cell division. So there are two types of cell division. So the next topic is types of cell division. There are two types of cell division. One is mitosis, second is meiosis. Remember this, first one is mitosis and second one is meiosis. When it comes to mitosis, a cell gives rise to two identical daughter cells. The new cells are called as daughter cells. Identical, they are similar. Okay, so two similar daughter cells are formed from a old cell. So mitosis is needed for growth and repair of worn out parts. So these are the function of mitosis. The first cell division name is mitosis. It gives rise to two similar, that is identical daughter cells. The new cells are called as daughter cells. So it is needed for growth. When we grow, we need cells. Okay, and the repair of worn out parts. That is when the worn out is like it becomes old and it's like, you know, so to repair it, the mitosis cell division is used. And meiosis, it's cell division involved in production of sex cells, okay, which give rise to the egg in female and sperm in male. We know that sex cells in male it is called as sperm cells, and in the female it's called as egg cell. Okay, so this cell division, it involves in this meiosis cell division, it involves in the production of sex cells. Okay, then they further give rise to the rise, in the sense they further develop into egg in female and sperm in male. Okay, we know that in the reproduction, the egg cell of the female and sperm of male, they are joined and then they are further developed into a new fetus and into a new baby. So first we will see uh, about mitosis. So the major events, okay, major events, the general events, that is the steps for the cell division for both mitosis and meiosis, they are similar. Majorly it's similar for both animal and plant cells. Okay, but there are some few steps, there are some few things that differs from plant cell and animal cell division. Okay, the sequence of events in mitosis. What are the events that happens? Sequence in the sense in the order. So the first step is that we have here a cell, a normal cell, which is ready to divide, and we should know the general parts. This is called a centrosome, which we saw about in earlier, is found in animal cell. And we have cytoplasm, that is the part other than the nucleus, and we have chromatin threads. I told chromatin is nothing but we have DNA, that is the genetic material, and it is combined with proteins and it forms chromatin. Okay, when you have the DNA and that is compressed and they form further into chromosome. This you have to remember. Dear students, in this lesson there might be complex topics, but I ask you to read many times, maybe 3 4 5 times, so that you become familiar with these topics. Okay, so the first step is that the chromosomal material, I told the DNA present in the chromosome, the chromatin network here as they have shown here, and inside the nucleus we told the DNA is present inside the nucleus, and the chromosome, DNA is present in chromosome. Okay, basically you can say that DNA is a chromosome is a condensed form of DNA. When you like shrink it, so that it accommodate a lot of genetic material, then that is called as chromosome. So here, yeah, they have given here that the chromosomal material inside the nucleus condenses to form chromosomes. The chromosomal material are DNA and the other proteins. Okay, so the nuclear membrane disappears. That is the next step. The nuclear membrane disappears. The centrosome, as I told, in animal cells, centrosome are present. So it divides into two equal parts called as centrioles. So dear students, in this here there are parts like centromere, centrosome, centriole. Don't get confused. Concentrate on the name, okay, so that you don't get confused. Now we are talking about centrosome, which is present here, and when it divides into two equal parts, then that is called as centrioles. Okay, and they migrate to opposite sides to orient the spindle which forms in the cytoplasm. This is the cytoplasm. So when this centrosome here, it is divided into two centrioles, they orient, they move, migrate here, so that a spindle is formed. I told in the last class a spindle is a fiber like structure, okay, which is used while during the cell division. So a spindle of fibers appear between centrioles. So these are the centrioles, they go to the opposite direction and between them a fiber spindle forms. Okay, then each chromosome consists of two chromatids which are held by a centromere. Now we talk about chromosomes. So chromosome, they look like this, okay, and this is called as centromere, okay, and which holds two chromatids. One arm of chromosome is called as chromatid. So two arms of chromatid joined with centromere is what is called as chromosome. Okay, I hope you are clear. Two arms of chromatid, the one arm of chromosome is called as chromatid. So now you have two chromatid which are joined by centromere is what is called as chromosome. So here they have mentioned that each chromosome consists of two chromatids which are held by a centromere. Don't confuse this term centromere with centrosome and centriole. Okay, centromere is about chromosome. So the chromosomes arrange in the middle or equator of the spindle. So here this is the spindle. After the the centrioles go to the opposite direction and spindle fiber is formed, the chromosomes they arrange in the middle, okay, like this. Then what happens? The centromere splits. As we told, the chromosome is joined, that is two chromatids are joined with a centromere, it splits. Okay, the chromatids, the daughter chromosomes of each chromosome now have their own centromere. Okay, so the centromere is splitted. Now each daughter chromosome have their own centromere. The chromatids, now termed chromosomes, separate from each other. Okay, and then they move to the opposite poles of the spindle. So here you can see after the splitting, they go to the opposite direction of the spindle, opposite poles. Okay, one is arranged here, another is arranged here. Okay, then the chromosomes lose their identity and turn into a network of chromatin threads at the two poles. So here they are called as chromatid threads. They lose their original identity, okay, and they are formed into a network of chromatin threads at the two poles. So the nuclear membrane reappears here in the step F. The nuclear membrane reappears around each of the two new clusters of the chromatin material. So these are the chromatin material. Okay, this is the centriole. So around these new clusters of the chromatin material, okay, this uh, what happens, nuclear membrane reappears. Initially in the first step nuclear membrane disappears here, but now nuclear membrane reappears around each, both in the two new clusters of the chromatin material. In the middle of the cell, at the two sides, a furrows appear in the cell membrane. Here furrow is like a split. Okay, in the cell membrane the furrows deepen, they deepen further. Here you can see here, to divide the parent cell. This is the parent cell. They are further divided into two new identical daughter cells. Here finally two new identical daughter cells have been formed. So these are the steps. Now I will explain through the diagram. Here you can see the cytoplasm, here is the nucleus, and outside you have centrosome because it's an animal cell. And this you have nucleolus in the, this is the nucleus is there. The cells are ready to divide. This is called as early prophase. Here you have centrosomes moving apart here, okay, to the opposite direction. Here you have centromere and chromatid is the arm. Then the metaphase, spindle fiber is formed, centromeres are opposite to each other, and you have chromosome lie along the equatorial plane of the cell. Okay, they are arranged. Then the chromatids separate and move to opposite poles. Here they go to opposite poles, that is called as anaphase. Then in the telophase you have daughter chromosomes here, the network, and the furrow happens in the cytoplasm. Furrow is a split. And then finally in the cytokinesis daughter cells, the two identical daughter cells are formed. These are the stages of mitosis. Please draw this and practice so that inshallah you will understand better. So the two main differences in mitosis in a plant cell and an animal cell. We told that the generally the major steps in both plant cell and animal cell, they are same. That is what we saw. And the two main differences, what are the two main differences? The first difference is that in plant cells there is no centrosome, as I told, but a spindle forms in the cytoplasm. There is no centrosome. This is a centrosome. Where is it? Here. Okay, in plant cell, but a spindle forms. This is the spindle network here. Okay, this one, a network. It forms in the cytoplasm. So upon the completion of mitosis, the cytoplasm in plant cell does not constrict. That is, a furrow is not formed like this here, does not constrict like this in plant cell, but instead a cell plate or a new cell wall. A cell plate or a new cell wall is laid down in the cytoplasm in the middle of the cell. So even in the regular original cell, a cell wall is formed in between. Okay, and it divides the original cell into two daughter cells. Got it? So the original cell, after forming the new cell wall, the original parent cell is divided into two identical daughter cells. So what is the significance of mitosis? The significance is importance. So the first point is that the daughter cells, the new cells, receive the same number of chromosomes as the parent cell. Here you can see that there are how many chromosomes? 1, 2, 3, 4 are there, right, in the parent cell. After the separation you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of them have the same number as the parent cell. So that's what they are mentioning here, that the daughter cells receive the same number of chromosomes as the parent cell. So in mitosis is an equational division, that is equal division in which the two daughter cells are identical to each other and to their parent cell. So the two new daughter cells that are identical to each other, they are identical to their parent cell as well. So the second point is that mitosis helps in wound healing. When you have wound in a body, when it happens, it has to be healed, so new cells have to be produced. That happens through mitosis. And the replacement of cells lost during wear and tear, that is when the cells are used, okay, and they become old, they wear out, okay, So new cells have to be replaced. So that happens through mitosis. So it is responsible for the growth of an organism by addition of new cells. When we grow, our body grow, okay? So the growth of an organism, it the mitosis is responsible for this with the addition of new cells. The last point is that it is the method of asexual reproduction in single cell organisms like amoeba. When you take a single celled organism like amoeba, when they have to reproduce, it happens through asexual reproduction, that is without male and female. Okay, that is when male and female join and reproduction happen, that is called a sexual reproduction. But in single celled organisms like amoeba, they reproduce, that is their new offspring, new generation is formed using this mitosis, that is called as asexual reproduction. Please read this, and you have time. We have reduced the number of classes because it seems the students find it difficult to study through online. So we have two classes per week, science, and for the last two lessons, I gave you notes. Only Zuhair and another person, I don't remember his name. I think Rahil, yeah, Rahil. He only two of them have submitted the notes. Two of them have sent me the notes. Please send me the notes. Okay, I told you what all to write. Please send me the notes as soon as possible, and inshallah we will go to meiosis in the next class. Alhamdulillah, barakallah fikum, subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.